take me through the current diet. So if you're in a place living with traditional people, are you consuming the way they eat? Or do you bring some of your nuance into it? And then when you're back home, how do you eat? And where is home right now?
Okay, well, I'm in transition. I'm moving out of Greece, so I'm on a road trip. I just got to France just an hour before we got on, and I've been driving for the last 2 months with my huge dog. He's like a horse. He's wonderful. But I'm not sure. I'm deciding. I have a house in South Africa, but bringing my dog there is very difficult. So I may end up back in the States. We'll see. I'm looking at a really great hunter-gatherer archaeological program that's at a college in Dublin. So it's on pause right now, but if they reboot it, I would go there for that. So we'll see. We'll see. It'll be a bit of a lottery. But what I eat. So because when I'm going to a place, I don't know if they've modernized or not. You never know until you go. And even with the same group, you could go 2 years later and it'd be very different. So I'll usually bring a good amount of things like smoked salmon or salami, things that aren't going to go bad, that don't take a lot of room and aren't too heavy. Now, sometimes that's invaluable, like my Greenland trip. I had almost a whole suitcase of that. But many places to have in between, right? When you're going into the like more modern towns before going into the more remote, where there you're good to go. You've got all the food to eat. Once you're with the communities, you have all the food you need. So when I'm with them, I really eat with them, and I eat whatever they're eating, and I eat the amount that they're eating and all of that. I don't stray from that. But I do bring emergency food when I can. Most of the places I go to, especially in the last couple of years, you're taking multiple remote, tiny planes to get closer. And with those, the weight limit is so strict. And so you really can't. Like on, most of my travels from this year, I did not bring food. I wanted it, but I didn't bring it. Now, when I'm home, that's different. Okay, so if I'm in Greece, I'm eating very Greek food, and not the Greek American food, but really Greek food. So the really good cooked meats, the really good chicken soup, yogurt every night for dessert. I love the yogurt so much in the clay pots. It's delicious. Lots of fried cheese. I eat fried cheese every single day. It's not like our mozzarella sticks. There's no breading. And I've adapted it, which I probably shouldn't admit. But if you get a waffle maker and then you put in the blocks of cheese into the waffle maker, you get these delicious, crispy waffles that have nothing but cheese. And the Greek cheeses, for some reason, they don't export, but there are thousands of them. If you go to a cheese counter, it is endless, the varieties. And some taste like bread, and some are, savory, and some are sweet. And so they really taste like bread. It's really good. I love those. Now, when I'm in America, I eat a bit different because I love Latin food. And because I can eat any food now, I still do my intermittent fasting. I'm not rigid about it, but I do it. But I do a lot of Brazilian foods and a lot of Mexican foods. So I will do a lot of like carne, like meats with the flavoring. And then I do the most vegetables when I'm in America. So I tend to kind of forget they exist. A lot of places I go, or they're like just some color on the plate that I'll often forget about. But when I'm in America, I'll do a lot more because I have the kitchens I'm used to, and the food and the groceries and all of that. And I don't care what they say about broccoli. I love broccoli. I could live on massive plates of broccoli, not alone. I would need a steak with it or a chicken or something, but like, I love it with butter. So I will usually make a huge plate of broccoli every single day to eat off of, for sure, along with these little Brazilian breads. So a traditional bread throughout a lot of Latin America is not made with a flour, not a grain flour. It's made with tapioca or cassava or arrowroot, mixed with cheese and either ghee or olive oil, whatever the local, usually lard, and an egg. And they make these little dough balls that are small, and they're crispy on the outside and really gooey on the inside. And I make a crisscross after I bake them, and then put just as much butter as there is bun, and a ridiculous amount of salt and just go into bliss. It's like my comfort food. Like some people go for, I don't know, whatever people eat for comfort food, but that is mine. I love it. And it never does me wrong. I stay healthy and good. So that would definitely be something I have there. I also will eat plantain chips when I'm in the States, whereas I don't eat those elsewhere. Plantains are a good starch if your microbiome is healthy. And you can get ones that are cooked in appropriate oils in the States, whereas most of Africa and places that you travel to, it's the real modern junky oils. So I'll eat those too. So basically, I go to Food Town when I'm in America. But everywhere else, I tend to eat rather regional. Like if I'm in Thailand, I'll eat a lot of the coconut soups and things like that. I don't tend to do the noodles and that kind of stuff. I really, just out of habit, don't tend to do those foods. But yeah, that's kind of how I eat.
And when it comes to plantain chips and other fried foods, what oils are you looking for?
Oh, ideally a stable animal fat. So a saturated fat is ideal. The saturated plant fats are fine too. So like a coconut oil or a palm oil would be fine with me because it's not going to go as rancid. But I don't do it if it's got like the canola, the soy, any of those.
And what about supplements these days? If you're in the US, is there certain ones that you take all the time or certain ones that you cycle in and out of?
I buy a lot when I'm in the States. You know, it's actually very difficult to get good supplements in other countries. So I'll often bring a whole suitcase that I will then disperse to everyone I know for the different things. But the main one, I would say, with all my travels and with the places I go with the very severe infections that people can get, I usually will travel with benfotiamine, which is a fat-soluble form of B1 that helps to really help with a lot of the more severe infections, right? The more life-threatening. So I'll bring that. I will usually bring like a medicinal kit based on where I'm going. So like if I'm going to a place with specific African viruses, I'll have St. John's wort. I may not take those, but I'll have them in case anyone needs them. I'll usually buy quite a bit of probiotics to do tests. I will often have a little kitchen lab where I go, especially if I'm going to go somewhere for a while. And so I'll get things that I've read about, and I want to do an N1 test to see if I'm going to recommend it or not, or how you can better use it. I've been really kind of obsessed with serine, the amino acid serine lately. So I've been digging down that hole quite a bit and how it relates to nerves and nerve function. So I'll definitely get things that I've been researching and not able to get until I'm in the States, and I'll get those. But I don't have anything that I take religiously.
If you enjoyed that clip, press here for the full episode. I'll see you over there.
What the Blue Zone is selling fits with the narrative of what we've heard really since the food pyramid and promotes that further. We tend to be like, okay, I'm going to have this organ and nothing else. That's not the ancestral way. The ancestral way would be